Good evening, the viewers that I basically don't have. I mean, if it's your first time watching this channel, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. We are trying to make it to our goal of, this channel like tries to be like Winky D, the voice of Zimbabwe or the voice of of our people. But let's just get into context here. Emmerson Mnangagwa is potentially or is the claims or the circulating information online, and by in no way am I claiming that I know who drafted this document, but there is this document that is currently on your screen. It has been circulating on social media, Facebook, X, and particularly in the Zimbabwean social media with people like Chiwenga actually stating that a faction in ZANU-PF has drafted this. But I mean, there is credit to the merit of like people in ZANU-PF drafted this, because even Blessed Geza actually gave hints of, not gave hints, but he said that he was gonna pursue an option of impeaching Emmerson Mnangagwa. Now, here's what is important, and perhaps this is a question that we should ask ourselves. Currently, Blessed Geza is a fugitive, and why would Parliament in its entirety actually even consider a motion that is coming from a fugitive? But if it was not drafted by Geza, then who drafted it within ZANU-PF? Someone must have drafted it, and someone must be able to have access to the president. Now, perhaps this might be confusing to you, so I'm just gonna first lay out or frame to you what is an impeachment process of the president of Zimbabwe. Something like what is necessary to impeach a president in Zimbabwe, right? So, in order for you, I mean, the constitution does give provisions of under what circumstances can a president of Zimbabwe actually be impeached. So, but amongst all things, it's gross negligence and inability to perform such duties. Then Parliament may be able to call a motion of impeachment on the president, and it must receive half of the vote of two houses of parliament combined. Half of, like, so I mean, Senate and the National Assembly must at least have half of its members that are calling for the impeachment of President Emmerson Mnangagwa. Then next there will be an investigation into this allegation. So at the top of this list, they say cognitive abilities of Emmerson Mnangagwa have been greatly reduced. After that whole investigation, then there could be a vote whether to impeach Emmerson Mnangagwa, and if it's successful, Emmerson Mnangagwa ceases to be a president. But perhaps the biggest question is, how practical is it? Like, is it even possible to impeach Emmerson Mnangagwa? Like, don't get me wrong, the 2013 constitution has some very beautiful provisions. It even gives you the right to protest. It gives you the right, like, you cannot be charged for more than, you cannot be held in custody for 48 hours without being charged. You must be let go if it is in that case. It have all these nice nitty gritties of like a modern day constitution, but the provisions of such constitutions, they are sometimes, just not sometimes, they are almost always stepped upon. So I'm asking myself, why would a person like the Speaker of Parliament, such as Jacob Mundende and Mabel Chinomona, people that have openly been seen at Pre-Cape Farm in Kwekwe, saying that 2013 they are Emerson. These two are speakers of parliament. They are heads of parliament. Mabel Chinomona and Jacob Mundende are heads of parliament. So they can allow such a motion to pass. So what is compelling this faction of ZANU-PF to actually think that they can pass through this motion in parliament, and particularly to speakers of parliament that do not have, that is shown that they are on the side of ED 2030? It's There's two possible ways that they can achieve this. One, they have some fear factor or fear mechanism that they are using to force these individuals into doing their bidding, like allowing that motion to pass, to actually go into voting for a parliament. Or two, they offer better alternatives like better bribes than Emmerson Mnangagwa gave to allow such speakers to actually pass such motion in parliament. But even if in a scenario where such motion is passed in Zimbabwean parliament, it still has to face the vote, and it still has to take the supporters. Now, it's fair to assume at this point that not everyone that is within ZANU-PF is a pro ED 2030. So there will be takers of this motion, and particularly on the other side, there will also be takers of this motion. But if Emmerson Mnangagwa is in the judiciary and now he has people that are also opposite him, like Sengezo Shabangu appointed MPs and stuff like that, there is going to be quite a lot of hurdles to actually pass such a motion, and particularly within ZANU-PF itself. So we're gonna impeach you, we're gonna give parliament say this about you, and then Emmerson Mnangagwa goes in a wild goose chasing and doing all of this thing. We're gonna have a demonstration, or they're planning a grander plan in the behind the scenes. Because remember, in order for you to be successful in such environment, you need smoke as your cover screen. You need the smoke screen just to confuse the enemy. So could it be possible that Blessed Geza is busy playing games with Emmerson Mnangagwa, throwing off the Emmerson Mnangagwa faction of its what can one actually call it, like off the like its trail, so that they can support they can be pro ED 2030. So that is quite old. I think we're gonna actually make a video on this one instead of going live, so that we can actually speak more openly about this one. Please, the 4 people that are watching at the current status quo, please can you just subscribe to the channel,